Okay, so here we are going to look at the Quasimodo reversal. Okay, we've already seen what a Quasimodo is. We look at it from the point of view that it has a relationship with the engulfing pattern. Okay, so today we are going to just go deep into the Quasimodo, and then from there we start building the concept from Quasimodo reversal, which is a QMR, to the QMC, Quasimodo continuation, and then to the QMM, which is a manipulation. Okay, so we said that Quasimodo is almost the same as what breaking market structure. Okay, that when the market is in an uptrend, creating series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so that normally occurs when the market creates a lower low, which is the Quasimodo. So we have a high, a low, a higher high, then a lower low. So when that happens, okay, this level, okay, is what you call the Quasimodo level. You want to see price come there. Our stop loss is at the top here. Okay, so that is what you have here. You have a high, a low, a higher high, and then lower low, and the pullback. Boom, we sell a low, a high, a lower low, and a higher high, a pullback, we buy. Okay, so now we are looking at how we are going to confirm this. How do you confirm if a Quasimodo is valid? How do you confirm if a breaking market structure is valid? Okay, how are you confirming that this EMS is valid? Because on occasion you can see that the market is going to an uptrend. Okay, it breaks. Okay, and then continues. Okay, so when this happens, right, when this breaking market structure happens, how do we know that, right, the market is going to do this or it is going to break this? Okay, so that is what we will try and do. We want to confirm the Quasimodo. Okay, so now we are seeing that, yes, the first requirement is that we want to see a higher time frame engulfing candle at the head of the Quasimodo. So when the Quasimodo happens, okay, where the head is, you want to find an engulfing there, right? Remember, this is left shoulder, this is head, and this is the right shoulder, right? Okay, so at the head, you want to see the engulfing pattern. Okay, so that's the first confirmation. So you can see that here, you have a high, you have a low, high, low, you have a high, you have a low, you have a higher high, and then we have a lower low. Okay, then we mark the Quasimodo level. Okay, it could be this. Some would choose this. I would have chosen this particular one because it's the one, it's a recent one. Okay, so you mark the level, and then when you change to a higher time frame, you see that at the head we have an engulfing there. Okay, so we have an engulfing pattern here. All right, so without this engulfing pattern, okay, we don't want to take this particular trade. All right, so that's one of the confirmations. Second confirmation, you want to find a base or a kissing candle opposite the left shoulder. So this is USD CHF, weekly chart, 12-hour chart, and then a daily chart, right? So now on the daily chart, we have a high, a low, a higher high, and then we have a lower low, right? And price is coming back. So here, after marking this level, opposite the Quasimodo level, we have a kissing candle. So you have this wick here and that wick here. So it gave us the kissing candle. Okay. Now on the 12-hour chart, we have what? A base just opposite it. So we have a kissing candle opposite it. And know that confirming a kissing candle, or confirming a hidden base, okay, you want to go to a time frame lower than that to find if there is a base. So from 12 hour, you want to find if there is a base here. So we went to, from daily, we went to 12 hour to find what the base, just opposite the Quasimodo. Then on the weekly chart, we confirmed what an engulfing, okay, at the head, right? So boom. All right. Okay, so that would be the two examples that we are using. Okay, so now we go to the chart, right? Let me show you some examples. Okay, on this chart, you have a high. You will not see it, okay, but you have an engulfing here. Okay, so when I go to the daily chart, you realize that, okay, you have a high, you have a low, you have a higher high, and then you have a lower low, okay? So if price had come here, this would be a good point of interest, okay? Because opposite it, yes, there's just a base just below it, but yes, around this area, we are going to look for the reversal because one, we go to a weekly chart, we find the engulfing there, okay? So once you find the engulfing here, and the Quasimodo level is passing within the engulfing, we don't want to see something like this. Okay, this is a high risk Quasimodo. If the left shoulder was here, it will be high risk. So you want to see it within the body of the candle. Okay, so now even if price comes here from here, I want to sell here. Okay, so that's the Quasimodo. We didn't have a base at check. Okay, we have a base directly opposite it. So if I take this candle, but I like marking here. So we have a base around, we have a daily engulfing, and then we have a weekly engulfing here. Okay, so this is a level. Now, if you look here too, okay, we have a daily engulfing. Okay, now if I mark this is going to be okay. So in this case, this would have been my Quasimodo. Okay, it is not within the body of the candle, so it's a high risk Quasimodo. Okay, it's a high risk at Quasimodo, but here, if I delete this and go to a 4-hour chart, okay, I have a high, a low, a higher high, and a lower low. Okay, and then opposite it, we have what? A kissing candle. Can you see that? I have a kissing candle opposite it, right opposite this level, have a kissing candle. Now, if I change to a 1-hour chart, the kissing candle should give me a base. Yes, so you have a base here. Okay, so because of this base, this trade is a good one. Okay, and you target this particular low, right? Okay, so we had all the confirmations. We had a higher time frame engulfing, which is a daily engulfing. A higher time frame engulfing. Okay, the QM is passing through the body of the supply candle. Okay, that is the buy candle, right? And then on a 1-hour, we have what? A drop, base drop opposite that level at the same level. Okay, so now one thing is this: if you want to trade good Quasimodo, you have to look for the Quasimodo on the corrections. Okay, so now, because yes, we define a pattern to be lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then we break structure. So we say that this is a Quasimodo level, okay, somewhere here. But actually, if you are looking for this to happen, it will take a lot of time, okay? You be waiting for this to happen for a long time, okay? Meanwhile, Quasimodo is dynamic. The Quasimodo pattern is not that static, it's dynamic, very, very, very dynamic. If you understand it, you know that it's very dynamic. So for instance, in this down move, okay, there were pullbacks. So in this pullback, if you had this, okay, this, and something like that. Okay, then we have the Quasimodo level. Can have our QML somewhere here. It means that when the market is pulling back, you can sell this to join this particular trend. Okay, you can sell this to join this particular trend. So usually you want to find them within the correction. But if you're lucky, when the correction ends, okay, you could have something like this, another Quasimodo, and then this before coming here. Then there will be no need to be looking for this. Okay, so usually I also find Quasimodo within the pullbacks. Okay, I find them within a pullback. But what you are treating is not the one in the pullback. We talk about that one very soon. But this is the reversal we are talking about. Okay, so now let's look at USD CHF. Okay, so this was the one I was talking about. So the one I was talking about. Okay, so this is the one I was looking at. All right, so we have the level here. Okay, opposite the level, we have a hidden base. Okay, 2 times rejections, right? And then on a lower time frame, I don't have 12 hour, but 4 hour, you have okay, so on the 4 hour, you have a drop, base drop. Okay, so you have a drop, you have a base and a drop. Okay, and so that's how price reacted to it here. Okay, and here. Okay, so again, look at that same one on the weekly chart. Okay, the weekly chart. Okay, we have a high, a low, a higher high, and lower low. Price couldn't reach the level. Okay, so when it couldn't reach the level, what happened? It created liquidity here. Okay, created liquidity. So this becomes a low resistance liquidity somewhere around this level. Okay, that price we use to enter this zone. Okay, and opposite it, you have, you see this weak candle. If you change to the daily, you find a base around this level. Okay, so that is what price did, and then gave us that particular rejection of about 500 pips. Okay. Yes, 556 and 16 pips. All right, and then another one is this. Okay, so this very nice one. Okay, so you see this USD CHF that we are seeing, this is a Quasimodo reversal. Okay, right, it is not, it's reversed there, but this is not good, don't go through, right? But when you look at the trend, when you look at the trend very well, that higher time frame, you see that the trend looks like this. You have a high, a low, lower high, lower low. Okay, so within this particular correction, that is where we found this level, right? That is how we found this level. If it is within that correction that we found that level, right? So it doesn't matter. You don't need, you see, because you missed it, you think that, okay, this Quasimodo is not going to work, but at least it went. Okay, so Quasimodo usually found within the correction. Okay, now this is a Quasimodo within the trend. So if you consider this as a trend, so you have a high, low, higher high, lower low. This is a Quasimodo within the trend. Okay, and price couldn't make it there. All right, so now USCHF, see, still this is a downtrend. Okay, so if I'm looking at the level here, I'll find this Quasimodo. Okay, find this Quasimodo. If price comes here, I'll want to sell because we have a drop, base, drop. Okay, a base opposite this level, but that's not the one I was talking about. Okay, so the one I want to talk about is this particular one, this particular Quasimodo. Okay, so we have a high, a low, a higher high, and a lower low. Okay, opposite that, what do we have? You have a base. See a very nice base drop opposite the Quasimodo level. Okay, then weekly, what do we have? We have, you didn't have an engulfing, but what do you have? You have kissing candle or hidden base opposite it. Okay, so price rejected it once, came back to retest and rejected it. I didn't sell this. Okay, I didn't sell this. I couldn't enter the sell, but I was in the buy. And the reason was also the same Quasimodo format. Okay, same Quasimodo. Okay, so you have a low, a high, a lower low, and a higher high. Okay, higher high. You didn't test this particular level. Okay, so when price was taking time here, it created liquidity here, and then within this level, okay, in this level, stop loss will be somewhere here. All right. Now, that Quasimodo, this Quasimodo is hidden within what? That correction. Okay, so we have low, high, low, high, low, higher, high. Okay, so if I go to a smaller time frame, see. Okay, if I go to a smaller time frame, you see that this Quasimodo had already been tested. Okay, we created a new high, then we tested it. Okay, so now price came back to react to the week of this candle. But this is where I entered. I entered around this particular place. Not because I saw this on a lower time frame, but because on a higher time frame, when I mark this particular level, I realized that the market is what building liquidity around it. And at the same time, there was a trend line that was being respected. Okay. Okay. So there was a trend line that was being respected. Right. Okay. So for me, I was expecting to see price break this particular one. And I just disrespected this particular Quasimodo, but it's the one that pushed price to the downside. Okay. So now let's go to this derive. Okay. So that is derive VIX. Okay. So now when you look at this area of the chart, okay. When you look at this area of the chart, you have a low, a high, a lower low, and a higher high. Okay. So when this happens, like this, okay, when this happens like this, you need to have a confirmation. Okay, so let's look at this zone. Just this zone. Let's look at this zone. Okay. So within this, we know that this is our low, our high, our lower low, and a higher high. So we mark the Quasimodo level. Okay. Okay, so the Quasimodo level has been marked. Okay, within this, opposite the Quasimodo, we have an engulfing, okay, and a base here. All right, so you can change your weekly chart and then see that the entire Quasimodo is an engulfing. The entire Quasimodo is an engulfing. The level is within the body of the base, okay, the body of the black candle here like this. The level is within it. So this is a good area for us to take the trade. Okay. So that is why. So that is why price came in here, right? And then gave us this particular reaction. Okay, here you have the SNLC1. Okay, remember the SNLC1. Okay, strong resistance. Opposite, you have a base. Opposite, you have a base. Price reacted to the base, boom, and broke the previous high. Okay, let's go to the weekly chart again. Somewhere here, okay, you have a low, a high, a lower low, and a higher high. Okay, so you have this. Okay, right. So you can mark the Quasimodo, this level. Okay, opposite the Quasimodo, there's a base. You can see a rally, base rally here, opposite it, right? So the market opposite the rally, base rally. Okay, right. So now the base becomes our entry, even though we mark the Quasimodo. Okay, so we have the base here. Now we need further confirmation. So if you go to the monthly chart, see what you have. You have an engulfing. The candle engulf the whole body, right, at this particular level. And if you trace the Quasimodo, you see to walk within the body of the candle. So got this one good reaction here. Okay. Okay. I think I'll bring the video to an end. Okay. Let me see if I can find more examples. More Quasimodo. QM here. Okay. A good one. Okay. So you see, the level that we mark is an engulfing, so a very good reaction. Okay, a very good reaction here. We have a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high. Okay, boom, very good one. Very good one. Okay, so let's see the confirmation. Oh, it is lost. I've lost it. Okay. I think I've lost it. Okay, so guys, that is all. So you have to go through the chart and then do some markings. Okay, we do some markings, look for the Quasimodo, and then see if they meet all the confirmation. Okay, and then if they meet all the confirmation, was it did price have a good reaction there? Okay, did price have a good reaction there? So those are the things you want to find out. Okay. Okay. All right, so you have a low, a high, lower low, higher high. You have a Quasimodo within the correction. Okay, boom. See, we didn't hit stop loss. Okay, so yeah. Okay, slightly below, and boom. All right, so thank you very much. All right, bye.